Hello and welcome to another Be.Tech.Construction lecture, carrying on with the Building Information Modelling series of What is BIM. In this one we're going to be looking at the BIM Dimensions. So we start with 2D. This uses lines, symbols and hatches to create either paper-based or electronic representations of buildings and structures. There has to be a combination of isometric drawings, plans, elevations, sections to give a decent 3D representation of 3D objects, i.e. buildings and structures. So it's the same as if you were drawing with pen and paper. You can draw from plan up above, bird's eye view. You can draw from side on, sections. You can draw isometric to give that 3D feel, but essentially it's a 2D object that uses lines, symbols and hatching to create the drawings. 3D. Use of 3D software to create lifelike 3D graphical models of objects as their representations. You can add materials to the object, and the object can be viewed from every angle. You'll be able to measure the 3 dimensions of the object and possibly even send it to a 3D printer to be printed out. Now this is where we get a little bit of confusion. 4D, what is 4D? So it's information attached to the 3D model that has anything to do with any aspect of time. So if I'm looking through a 3D model and I click on a smoke detector and I'm given some information about when that smoke detector is planned to be installed, because we're in the delivery phase, we're designing, and I'm given some information about when the date that smoke detector is to be installed, that would be considered 4D information. But the traditional construction program of what task is to be carried out when can now even be attached to the 3D model, and a simulation can be made of the building being constructed along with a timeline of dates and times being displayed as the model progresses. So it's really quite clever 4D modelling. You can actually click play and see the building being built before your eyes, and you'll also see the times and dates of what is being constructed on that date, if you see what I mean. And in the same way, 5D is information that's attached to a 3D model that has anything to do with any aspect of cost. So we can generate costing sheets and estimations for the 3D model. So if I click on that smoke detector again, and I'm given the price of that smoke detector, I'm told how much one unit costs, then that would be considered 5D information. There might be some information about how much it costs to install, which would be considered 5D information. And likewise, we can generate things like costing sheets and estimations right out of the 3D model. 6D and beyond, you'll see that 6D all the way to 9D and maybe even further, there is no real industry agreement on what these represent, so it's probably best to avoid such terminology, as different companies are using the same Ds for different descriptions. It could be argued that 6D is anything to do with maintenance, but I've seen people claiming 7D is to do with deconstruction and that kind of thing. I would stick to the 5 BIM dimensions discussed on the earlier slide. And that's the end of that micro lecture. Thank you very much.